All right, hey, there we go. Here I come, here I come, there I am. All right, good morning, and welcome to Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel for Wednesday, March the 11th. Good to see the crew in here. Get ready for a great sports betting day on Wednesday, but I don't know if we can top what went down on Tuesday in terms of excitement, surprise excitement on Tuesday with some big stories here to kick off the show. We'll preview action here for Wednesday, including college basketball action. We got action all day on Wednesday. Here is conference tournaments really get into full gear with major conferences here. We picked a few games out. I don't know if we can get too many. There's a couple championship games, but some of them have late lines, so we'll see if we can at least get those lines out for some of those mid-major conference championship games. But man, what a night in the world of sports. I don't know, you want the good headline, the bad headline, the controversial headline, the you name it, we've got it here on Night Moves, but mostly about the previews here. We'll get to those in just a moment. But first, I think we can start with the NBA, don't you think? With Bam Adebayo. Look, a national team player, a great career, certainly, Hall of Fame candidate eventually when he wraps up his career. The one thing we always wanted to see from Bam was more scoring, and we got it on Tuesday night with Bam scoring 83 points for the second highest total in NBA history in a 150 to 126 win over Washington. Bam had 20 baskets. It was 36 of 43 from the free throw line. So most will put a mental asterisk on this one, but look, it is what it is, and when it will be measured in terms of history, people will always bring up the way that Bam got it. So there's no problem, there's no controversy, and you better watch out with these kind of games, right? Look at the type of game that it was. You look at some scores we have in this league. If they don't fix the tanking situation, they're probably going to get more games like this. I think it was kind of a result of the situation there, with Washington. They've been dreadful. Miami's been hot, playing well. And then look at the scoreboard tonight across the league as well, with some really high scores here right now. I might have to make some adjustments even myself here after what we saw from games across the scoreboard tonight. It just so happened that Bam got off to a great start against basically a team that didn't have a center in there to slow him down there or anything. And he ended up putting up that big total there, 83 points. But I mean, you look at the games across the board, there were a lot of high scores there on Tuesday night. So I'm okay with it. Let's celebrate Bam. I mean, he's had a good career, and it's always nice to have a story like that. Come on. There'll be plenty of controversy tomorrow. I'm not going to defend what went down or how it went down. I mean, when I watched the game unfold there, I saw him making some shots. I mean, he was, it's not like they started hack-a-shack at halftime or anything. I mean, he was making some field goals there. Hey, the reason why it got to they took him out with a minute left. He could have got 80. He could have got 85. He could have given the ball again if they wanted to. So let's root there for Bam. Hope everybody doesn't get all bent out of shape out of it here. I'm going to quickly go over to Tony'sPicks.com right out of the gate here. I had a pretty busy card. Didn't quite work out for me here over the whole long haul tonight, but I do want to go over the situation with this game here and point out what I said, because I had this as a premium pick game, and I did have the over in the game. Now, I didn't say that Bam, watch out for Bam. I didn't even say watch out for, the Heat scorers or anything like that. I don't want to get it twisted here, but I'm going to show what I said on the game, because I did have the pick on the total over here. And, we have little write-ups and everything here. So here it is, the over 237.5. In my write-up, I said I have this one well into the 240s. Well, obviously it was 279 points, but you get the gist here. And I said I think Washington will have little resistance for the Heat, and I think the Heat can get into the 130 range here. Okay, they scored 150, but I said also I have this one close to 132, 115 tonight for a massive score. So, look, I mean, no one's going to go out there and predict that, but I thought that this would be a game where you're not going to see much defense, and down the stretch, these tankathon games are going to be a little bit more like that, I think, here as we go along. Now, I don't want to stay on this page too long, because I was kind of 50-50 tonight. I had a heavy card because, wow, we had the huge NBA card, a huge NHL card, and this tournament college basketball, and I did have some winners in some other sports here today, such as Tottenham and Atletico Madrid. I had that one over. Had the under in Calgary and the Rangers here tonight for a premium pick winner. Also, Penn State Northwestern under for a premium pick winner. Also, Dallas and Atlanta under there, even though it was a 124-112. We had the under there in that one with Dallas and Atlanta. I said right there would finish right in the 120-110 range. That's not bad. It was 124-112. Hey, I might be a regular Greg Gibson in here with my predictions on Tony'sPicks.com. And then I finished with a little bit of a weak sauce there, but you can go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Hey, it's not about the winners over there. It is about the winners, but also you get the write-ups and everything too, and I like to do those write-ups. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. We're working right into the commercial here a little bit with that coverage right there. But so far this year, NBA, I am 20-12, good for over 7 units of profit there. Also, successful in tennis and soccer here as well. And college baseball, 1-1 today in college baseball here, as I had a winner. 2-0. 2-0 in college baseball today, as I had a winner with Texas Tech, and also had a winner with Alabama. So 2-0 in college baseball. Those are part of our picks here. I do the peripherals around here at Tony's Picks. Okay, so just don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those premium pick packages, and you can ride with me here. Why not go all the way through until the weekend? Get the 3-day all sports pass. I'm going pretty heavy volume here with this college basketball, even though I can't quite get over the top, but I'm gonna here. I mean, this is my best sport, as proven here over the years on Tony's Picks. So check me out over there. Get the 3-day all sports pass. I'm gonna be firing away here, but I'm gonna also give you some picks right now in college basketball here on Night Move. So thank you very much for joining us. But we got a little bit more news than that. I mean, come on, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about the disaster that is the United States men's national baseball team, Team USA, as they lost to Italy tonight. No excuses for a performance like this from the U.S. You can feel it. The manager doesn't know how to manage. He doesn't even know how the tournament works. The team is lacking motivation. Italy's in there drinking espresso in the dugout. The U.S. is like can't wait to get out of here. Can't wait to get the season started here right now. And they're relying on thinking their talent will carry them through when you got a team like Italy coming in here, and I know no one's complaining like they did about the Olympics, about some of the major leaguers in there anyway. They're not all major leaguers though, and it's a nice tight knit group. Hey, they got the heritage. That's how this tournament works. It's really all on Team USA right now with what happened here tonight. Absolute disaster, losing to Italy. They did bring the tying run to the plate there a few times, but uh, actually just no excuse right now, and everyone's scratching their heads because all of a sudden now Team USA could be out of the tournament if it actually goes against them here with the games coming up on Wednesday. I mean, the U.S. Basically has it out of their hands here a little bit because of their lack of focus, lack of intensity. Fell behind in the game 8-0. They lose. 8-6. So, there's U.S. Team U.S. stuck up there. Okay, you got the Cal Raleigh situation with the Rosarena. Cal Raleigh calls it no problem. I think Randy Rosarena just says don't be a douchebag there. So really, really sad what we're seeing here. Italy at 3 home runs in 4 innings of the game. Michael Lorenzen for Team Italy, 4 shutout innings. So, might want to have him deported here if you don't like what's going on. But really a stunner there at the World Baseball Classic on Tuesday night. Also, Canada beat Puerto Rico 3-2. Israel beat the Netherlands 6-2, and overnight Japan pulled away for a 9-0 victory. Although the Japanese fans, got to give them a lot of credit. They gave that standing ovation to Czechia pitcher Andrej Satoria, who pitched 4 shutout innings and struck out Shohei Ohtani in his last appearance. I mean, feels like the guy could be in the major leagues somewhere with his crafty pitching there at the World Baseball Classic. So just have to see what happens here with Team USA. They've played all 4 of their games right now, and tomorrow is going to be Italy and Mexico there in Houston, and we'll see what happens in that one. But could see Mexico get into the tournament here with the tiebreaker situation on Wednesday night. So just got to cross your fingers here, I guess. Look, if the result goes as according to plan, or what you're expecting, U.S. will still get in, but it only takes a certain situation here, unfortunately, because of the U.S. situation and the tiebreaker. So really bad situation there for Team USA, and those players just not taking it seriously. So we'll see there. All right. Also, the news out of the NFL. We saw that big trade kind of, I think, rescinded there after Max Crosby didn't pass a physical, so the NFL voided the trade for 2 number 1 draft picks and his rights returned to the Raiders. And now the team's all of a sudden over the salary cap and facing decisions because they went on that spending spree. The Raiders added $259 million in salaries with 6 acquisitions and a day 1 free agency splurge. Crosby has $30 million salary that now reverts back to the Raiders. So they're between a rock and a hard place here with that situation. They're trying to get young. They need to save the money. They made some big moves that, even though they lost Max, you got to say the Raiders may have improved themselves on the field over the last couple of games, finally spending all that money. But now they're going to have to rearrange or find out how they're going to get around this. So more signings here also on Tuesday, including top signings, include Devin Lloyd, my man from Otay Ranch High School in San Diego. He gets signed by Carolina away from Jacksonville, and Isaiah Pacheco sounds like he's going to sign with the Lions there. Romeo Dobbs goes to the Patriots. They're trying to get some receivers in there now after That's what they need. They need some guys who aren't going to be such a drama situation there. So, also, in a totally Jets move, they've traded for Geno Smith. Okay. And the Saints will put Alvin Kamara on the trade block because they've replaced him with Travis Etienne, a kind of a clone there. Kamara's had the better career, but Etienne still has mileage left, so he's kind of getting the same player there overall. So Miami had the record in 151 million in dead cap space after releasing 6 players. So a lot of teams are going to look different next year when the NFL season rolls around. All right, let me say hello to everyone in the chat. We're going to preview our games here on Wednesday. Should be kind of a short show, I think, because we have kind of short, after all those games yesterday in NBA and NHL. We can look at a few more college basketball games today. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of finals or anything. Tim's here today. He says it's a sad day for USA baseball. And look, I don't want to be overly dramatic, and I don't want Tim to be overly dramatic, but he's right. He is right. This is a negative situation all around, and look, this is a good tournament. Like I said, I think baseball's got something right here. I mean, it's been going on. This tournament's been going on a long time. I heard people this week talking on some of these shows like this one, not this particular one, but shows like this, where they were like, they didn't even know that the World Baseball Classic has been around as long as it had. I mean, this thing's been going on, a long time, many years. But you gotta, if the U.S. is going to lose, it ain't going to happen anymore. They're not going to have it here. The U.S. lose. Hey, Fish Den's here again tonight. Hi, Fish Den. Hey, thanks a lot. Nice to have you in there. How can we lose to Italy? Because we see Aaron Judge there, in mid-season form, I guess. We don't want him to, have that kind of reputation. Come on, he's still a great, great player. Good to see in here, SF Niner as well here tonight. Timmy Two Shoes joining us. How about Crow Armstrong, though? It wasn't PCA's fault. He hit those home runs. He looks in mid-season form. He looks even better right now. I mean, this is a big tournament. Some guys take it seriously, right? Some guys are ready to play. If Pete Crow Armstrong looks like he does right now into the regular season, Pete Crow Armstrong is going to be even better this year. The Shohei Ohtani's the MVP candidate. You can't win him every year, can he? Jermaine is here today. Who else is joining me here? Greg is here as well. Thank you, guys. I'm ready to start if you are. And Mr. Westford said, yeah, you know what? We're tired of Aaron Judge. Can't even come through against, give that reliever credit. But, you're supposed to be ready. And you don't need the big bang bomb there. Look how Schwarber, he just sliced that single up the middle, gave him a chance. But you think you're the slugger, and you might as well hit it out of the park. So I can't sit here and lament all night. We have to talk about the games here, so that's all right. But hey, all the games tomorrow are and I'm looking at the replay here of Team Italy. He had more home runs here. I don't know. I'm watching it again. I love misery. So all the games tomorrow, of course, are in the United States. So it'll be Canada and Cuba, Italy and Mexico in that big game. Mexico is a 280 favorite in that game. And the total, and so this is what I mean, right? When it comes to what is expected to happen in that game between Italy and Mexico, and we'll see. And actually, a lot of books here, I don't think have even posted the total. Interestingly enough, there are scenarios and a little bit of talk, that Italy and Mexico could conspire a little bit to make sure that the United States is out. So maybe the books are, does anybody see a total out there right now? Now, I'm not saying because there's no total also for Canada and Cuba. Dominican Republic and Venezuela, you have Dominican Republic 220. That's going to be a good game. Total 9.5. Canada $1.65 over Cuba, and Mexico $2 over the United States. And again, we'll have to see what happens with the total because that's what's going to be. That's where it's going to hinge on tomorrow is the final scores of the game here. So U.S. has finished their schedule, and oh man, I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm trying to be realistic here, but all right. Um, get going here with our previews. Great games, college basketball all day long here, and all into the night as well. We saw some exciting action yesterday for sure uh, here. With some of the games, including late night in the Southland Conference, we had a triple overtime game there. I'll get to the scores here in just a moment. All right, but first I'll talk about the West Coast Conference here with Gonzaga over Santa Clara. The Zags win the tourney for the 12th time in 14 years. Broncos, they'll get in. I said they'll get in. I do think they'll get in. They'll get into the field of 68. They won 13 of their last 16 games. This was for Santa Clara's first title game in 19 years. And you know what? They did play a good game, but Gonzaga got the money there yesterday. And we did have the winner here on Night Moves with the under in that game. So also over in the Horizon, Wright State, they're the champ in the Horizon with a 66-63 win over Detroit yesterday. We had Detroit plus 3.5 in that game. Got it done. Wright wins by 3 in that game. Now we'll just mention here the spread did go up to 4.5 or 5. I had to sweat it out with my 3.5, but we did have Detroit. They got it done with the money. Detroit led the game by 12 with 10 minutes to go. But Wright State, they're in the NCAA tournaments for the first time in 4 years there. And they right now get the win, one of 12 teams so far with their tickets punched to March Madness. Over in the Coastal, it was Hofstra over Monmouth in that one, and it was 75-69 as Hofstra's in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 25 years. Monmouth led by 6 early in the second half, and Hofstra came back behind their freshman guard Ed Mead, 26 points and 4 assists. Hofstra has won 11 of their last 12 games. You got to be hot in March. MAAC final, Siena gets it done over Merrimack, 74-64. A stunner there. The Saints are to the tournament for the first time in 16 years. This game featured 3 players, and the 3 players who substituted into the game, Siena dominated the boards, 50-26. To get it done in that one. When we talked about the game yesterday, I was on Merrimack, but I did describe the game as, what I thought would be a very low-scoring game, but that was not the case there in that one. All right. Also, I think that might be it for the championship games there yesterday. And let's get a move on here right now. I think we got enough people in here. We got a couple dozen of you here right now. So there's Chi Live, or as Les Nessman might say, Chai Live. And who else? That might be it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on here. Curvin's in the chat as well, so we definitely can go here and turn back to the NBA to get things started. So where we started the show with Bam Adebayo. Wow. Look, I mean, it was because of that. I had a premium on it, but because of that game, it really didn't start on anybody's radar. But quickly, there were notifications, and you were starting to hear it early on in the first quarter that he was having a monster first quarter there. And then by the time at halftime rolled around, you had to see what was up with Bam. All right, let's get to it here right now. We've got a 6-game NBA card here. Yes, it might be all about the college basketball on Wednesday. The games are going to start pretty early, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, but we'll cover NBA first here. Get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready. It's preview time with Cleveland taking on Orlando. Let's start it off. The Cavaliers, a favorite here on the road against the Magic by 3. The total here is 227 here in this one. Again, two teams not great at covering the spread this season. We know Cleveland's been pretty bad all season at covering, despite having still a pretty solid record overall. Cleveland comes in 40-25, but they're just 27-38 against the spread, just 18-33 against the spread as a favorite. Could you imagine? You'd be broke betting this team all season long. Orlando, though, also not great, but they are 10-11. ATS as an underdog. That's a stark contrast from Cleveland's record as a favorite. We know Orlando's playing quite well here, actually, all the way, and this is what's making them, totally legit here in this playoff race. They're sitting inside the playoff bubble here, currently in 7th place, battling for it. I don't know if they'll catch the Heat. They're a half a game back of them right now and a half a game back of the Raptors. But again, you're looking at the 5, 6, 7, 8 teams here all kind of battling. The Hawks and the Hornets are there as well. And it feels like those teams are kind of battling it out, jockeying for position here. So Orlando certainly in a position to, possibly get close to the Cavaliers. The Cavs are the 4 seed currently, but it's the 5 through 10 that, is really going to be jumbled up here for the last few weeks to come. We can hear what you guys have here in this one with Cleveland taking on Orlando here in NBA action for a Wednesday in Orlando. And like I said, this has been a good stretch here, good run for Orlando, having won 4 of their last 5, covered 7 of their last 10. They've won 4 in a row, covering 3 of those, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. They are just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at home. And Cleveland, they've kind of owned this series. They're 5-1 straight up and against the spread against Orlando over the last few seasons here. The two teams have already met twice this season. Cleveland won and covered them both, once at home, once on the road. So the dominance has kind of continued here for Cleveland, but do they have enough motivation here to win this one on the road when I don't know, they're half a game behind the Knicks. They're well clear of those other teams, so they might be motivated here, but they're on the road and Orlando's playing pretty okay here. Let's see what you got in this one. Cleveland is 18-13 to the over on the road. We'll go to the chat pros and see what you guys have to say, and then I'll make a pick as well. Cleveland's gone under in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. So, all right, chat, let's see what you got here with this one. Cleveland taking on Orlando here on Wednesday night. If you haven't joined our show before, you can comment in the chat, and then I show the picks on the screen. We try to see what the consensus is here a little bit. All right, it's Cal Dog. He's on the Magic. Timmy Two Shoes is liking the under here in this one. And Kerbin, he likes the over here. And Greg here, he's going to lay it with the Cavaliers in this one. All right, and Fishden said he likes it under, but maybe it's just a little bit too getting too low. Is it right there? Is that what Fishden is saying? Because there definitely has been, I believe, some movement here to the let's see, what is it? 227 here in this one, with the Cavs there. I wouldn't sweat it if you really like it. Fishden at 227. I don't know if I'm on the same, but okay, here we go. Let's see. Jermaine likes Orlando to take down another one here right now with that winning streak. Cleveland's been playing well too, though. They have beat Philadelphia last time out, 115-101. They also beat Detroit, 113-109. Yeah, they lost to Boston. And let's see, Timmy's got some Harden props here. All right. All right. I do like the over actually, and I like the over. I'm going to go ahead and take the over. I don't want to offend Fish Den there. He does like it under, but I'm going to go over actually at 227 here with uh, Cleveland and Orlando. Like I said, I think Cleveland, they're mostly a kind of shade of the under, but on the road they definitely give up a little bit more. I'm going to go with the over here. Uh, I might be looking at the favorite though. They seem to have Orlando's number, and they're still playing pretty well. They still have motivation here, maybe to get to the number 3 spot currently. I just off, offensively for Cleveland here, they are a little bit challenged, but they do it all on the defensive end. But man, Orlando gives up some numbers too. Of late, they've been scoring a little bit, 130 against Milwaukee there. I'm going to take the over in this one. All right, let's go next up here with the Raptors are on the road taking on the Pelicans in this one. NBA action here for Wednesday. New Orleans here comes in having won 2 of their last 3, and they've covered 3 straight wins over weak sisters, Kings and Wizards, and they lost to Phoenix on the road, but they did cover. They returned home to get that win over Washington here. It's virtually a pick 'em in this one. Coming in against the visiting Raptors here. Toronto did lose to Houston. I had Toronto last night, but they kind of laid an egg there. They were 4.5-point dogs there. They started out fine, but in the second quarter, they just kind of quit there. Only 20 points for the Raptors, and now they're going to play back-to-back on the road against a New Orleans team that certainly they might be in the tankathon, you'd think, but I don't know. They've covered the 3 in a row. They're still 19-13 against the spread at home. Toronto does play a little bit better on the road than they do at home. I think maybe even quite better. But Toronto still just 16-20 against the spread as an underdog here, or as let me see. Are they an underdog? Yeah, I'm showing the Raptors here are now favored. In fact, the Raptors are almost up to 1.5 here at a few spots from since I put these lines on the teleprompter here, whatever it's called. 1.5 here and 232.5 right now. So let's reevaluate here a little bit. These two teams have not met yet so far this season. So we're going to get another meeting out of these guys here soon enough. All right, for the Raptors here, they come in having lost 5 of their last 7 games overall. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5. New Orleans has won 6 of 9. They've also covered 5 of their last 7 at home, and 7 of their last 9 overall. So you got to give this team a little bit of credit. I mean, they're not necessarily they're done. I mean, they're not going to make any headway in the standings here currently. Right now, Orlando sits in 13th place. I mean, they'd have to win them all. They need big time help. So. Let's see what you got here, though. It feels like the Pelicans, with a little bit of momentum in this Raptors team, should be better, but maybe the line tells the story here, because the Pelicans are, yes, the line has moved towards the Raptors, but like I said, it's virtually a pick 'em here. All right, injury report in this one. You got Jakob Poeltl, he's questionable. Jackson Davis is questionable for Toronto. Murray Boyles is still out. McGowan's he's out for New Orleans here. All right. New Orleans gone over in 4 of their last 5. Toronto's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Toronto is a hardcore under, 12-24 to the under as a favorite, 11-20 to the under on the road. Still a big number, and like I said, we saw some big numbers there yesterday, didn't we? And will it be like that today, even though Toronto is such a hardcore under team at 24-40 to the under this year? New Orleans is 19-14 to the over. All right, we're going to go to the chat pros here right now and see what they have to say with Toronto and New Orleans tonight. Here we go. Hey, BuzzFan. Good to have BuzzFan in the chat this evening. Cal Dog liking the over here. And let's see here. And Mr. Wesker says, he doesn't quite trust the Pelicans in this role. Maybe he would against a team, against a non-playoff contender. But because of the Raptors, they're going to the playoffs. Make no mistake, right? So, all right, Toronto money line, New Orleans team total under. Hello to Isaiah Blumenkron in the chat. He wants to talk Arizona State basketball here tonight with the Big 12 action there. All right, let me see. I think I was thinking if I had that early start. It's not in our preview. Let's see if I can get to that, Isaiah. Nice to have you here, though. We're on the NBA segment right now. All right. Fishden does like the under. Gosh, you know what I do? I kind of do too, because like I said, Toronto is pretty much an under team. When these two teams met last year, they both went under. But they haven't met this year. A little Ingram action here. And Mr. Wesker says the Raptors think they're going to the playoffs. They're going. They're definitely going. It's just a matter of where they end up right now. They're probably not going to get into the top four, but unless you don't consider the play-in tournament the playoffs, then I guess they could maybe miss. They might end up in the play-in tournament because, like I said, all those teams are jumbled up. All right, and Timmy's got some plays here. I'm going with the Pelicans in this one. They seem to still have some life, and the Raptors, they've been better on the road, but I'm going to take the Pelicans to win this one, actually. Or I'll take them plus 1.5, but I'm taking the Pelicans in this one. All right, next up, we've got the New York Knicks taking on the Utah Jazz. The Knicks are a 12-point favorite here. We're in the tankathon for sure with the Knicks. They might even be 12.5 here right now, but the Knicks have lost a couple games in a row here. Utah actually coming in off of a win last time out. Utah beat Golden State at home 119-116 with a good effort. The Knicks here, meanwhile, consecutive losses to the Lakers and the Clippers. This is their fourth straight road game here. So you just got to wonder if the motivation to cover a 12.5-point spread, we're in the tankathon in this one, so they should handle the business here in the matchup against Utah. But the Knicks are just 14-20 against the spread on the road. Utah still profitable as a home dog, no matter how you look at it, and they're 18-15 against the spread at home this season. For New York here, they've won 13 of their last 20. They've covered 5 of their last 7. They've also covered 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams overall. The teams did meet back in December, and the Knicks won 142-112 in that one. And we've seen some big numbers from some of these Utah games here recently, although they have gone under in 3 of their last 4 right now and 4 of their last 6 overall. 9 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams have gone under, and the Knicks have gone under in 7 of their last 10. Still, Utah's 23-10 to the over at home this season. That feels like the way it could go. Utah's lost 8 of their last 10. They've covered 4 out of their last 5, however. Let's hear from the chat pros in this one and see what they have when the Knicks come on the road to take on Utah in a tankathon game here. All right, it's going to be Mr. Weskers politely says he'd like to lay the 12, but Cal Dog will take the points with the Jazz. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to be in the tankathon a little bit. Usually I'd be right about it, but I'm just going to take the over here. I think the Knicks put up a solid number here, and they might not be totally motivated defensively here. I'm going with the over tomorrow night with the Knicks and the Jazz. Curvin says take the Utah team total over there at 120-ish, I would say. All right. Well, we just don't have enough games tonight, but hey, the Hornets are in it. Of course, we're previewing the Hornets right now. These guys are still hot coming in. They are 500, 33 and 33. Sacramento's actually won 2 in a row. Watch out. Sacramento with back-to-back wins over Chicago and Indiana at home, but that's okay. You got to beat somebody, showing they have a little bit of life here, playing some sad sack teams. But for Charlotte, they're pretty stiff here. Still, they've lost 2 of 3, failed to cover 3 straight. They just beat Portland on the road, 103 to 101, but they did not cover in that one. We're in the tankathon here, but well, all of a sudden the Kings have a little life going on here after they were on a real dreadful streak. Charlotte, though, is terrific. 14-9 against the spread as a favorite. 22-13 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Sacramento, 23-36 as an underdog, and 14-19 against the spread at home. So these two teams have not yet met this season. So we'll see what happens here. Last year, the Kings won both meetings, covering the spread in both. They won in Charlotte. They were favored by 11.5 last year in Charlotte, and they were favored by 11 at home. They covered them both. They won the 2 games last year in this series by a combined, let's see here, they won over Sacramento by, they won the first meeting by 42 points and the second meeting by 23. That's 65 points right there. Even I can figure that out. So maybe there is something to Sacramento. And what can you say? They've done a little bit of damage here at home of late. Believe it or not. They were playing some sorry teams. So they were losing before that at home to Phoenix and New Orleans. That might be comparable to a team like Charlotte here right now. Those two teams, right? So this one feels tough, but let's see what you got. All right, it's going to be the Kings on the money line for Timmy Two Shoes. Fishden's got Miller here for a prop. Curvin says give him Sacramento in the first half. All right, hey, we're mostly a West Coast card out here tonight, aren't we, with these two teams here? Man, Charlotte has played so well right now, but man, could they really get them over 13 points at home here in this one? All right, I'm going to end up on the under here, this one with Charlotte and Sacramento. Give me the under tonight. I'm on some totals here. Cal Dog takes the Kings and the points. Right, couple more here right now. We got the big game of the night here, it looks like, or one of them anyway. Yeah, Rockets and Nuggets here. What do you know? With Houston on the road here still, taking on these Nuggets tonight. Last night, the two teams met here, of course, in Denver, or not last night, but last December anyway. Of course, what was it there last? Houston took on Toronto, beat Toronto. For Houston, they did cover that game, by the way, 113 to 99, but they've been alternating wins and losses. When these two teams met so far this season, they've already met 3 times. Denver won the first 2 meetings and covered, but Houston won in Denver in late December, 115 to 101. Denver comes in off of a loss at OKC. They've had a tough schedule here of late, losing to the Thunder and the Knicks. They also beat the Lakers. So let's see what you got here in this one, with the Nuggets favored by 5.5. And the total here is 229 in this one. Well, you do have Denver, man. 28-14 to the over as a favorite. This is where they usually this offense at home usually can turn it up. Denver's gone over in 13 of their last 18 games. Houston's gone over in 6 of their last 9. Also, 4 last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, although Denver's gone under in 5 of 6. Denver's a good cover, but not in this home favorite role. They actually do give it up a little bit. Houston, meanwhile, 5-2 against the spread as an underdog here. And look, they're getting 5.5 points in this one. They've won 6 of their last 9, although they're 2-4 ATS in their last 6, and just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against the Denver Nuggets here. See what we got here in this one with Houston and Denver. Jamal Murray probable. Rockets are just a pretty clean injury report on the short-term injuries here. Let's see what you've got tonight with the chat pros when Houston takes on Denver. All right, I'm going to go to the chat and see what you got. All right, it's going to be the Nuggets for Mr. Weskers here. He likes Denver to get this one done. And also here, Murray here over his points. Nuggets on the money line there. The Cal Dogs on the Rockets, but Power Critters on Denver. Timmy says the Nuggets have turned the corner here and doesn't trust the Rockets here right now. The incredible thing is where these two are in the standings here right now. Basically, the Rockets a 1.5 game lead over Denver. Rockets in 3rd, though. Denver's in 6th. So a little bit of difference between those two. And Denver, I mean, they're going to be playing on the road if they don't get things together here right now. All right, let's see. Fishden says, no Murray, so Jokic can score, get all the points in there. Greg likes over here in this one. Kerbin, I think he likes Denver there. All right, I think that's it for the chat in this one. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets here to get this one done. Give me Denver at home. I'm going to lay the points against the Rockets here tonight. Denver will be fine, says Mr. Weskers. All right, next up. Final game here on the NBA card for Wednesday. We've got the Timberwolves taking on the Clippers here at the Intuit Dome. The Clippers come in with back-to-back wins, and they've been playing even better than that. Clippers with wins over the Knicks and Memphis. They have done a good job here covering games too. They also had win recently over Indiana and Golden State. They've gone 4-1 here, ATS, in their last 5 games overall, 6-1. ATS in their last 7 overall. They've won 5 of 7. Minnesota's won 8 of their last 11, but failed to cover in 7 of their last 9. But they are an underdog here. Minnesota just 1-5 against the spread against the Clippers in the last 6 meetings. This series has gone under in 6 straight games. Clippers have gone over, though, in 5 of their last 6, and Minnesota's gone under in 6 straight games right now. 2 teams did meet back in February already twice this season in February, and they split, although Minnesota did win back in December at home. They did not cover in a 3-point win. However, the Clippers won and covered in Minnesota in February, and then Minnesota came out to LA and won, but did not cover there. So basically, Clippers have been getting the money in this series against Minnesota. See how you have it here in this one. All right, it's going to be here. Under for Jermaine in there. And Mr. Wester says he's not sure what the Clippers will do in this situation. To me, it does seem like they're still crushing it here right now. Like there's a certain motivation here in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Clippers here tonight. I like the Clippers to win and cover against Minnesota here at home. Give me the Clip joint. Cal Dog likes Clippers on the money line. Fishden likes the under here in this one. I often do like these, Clipper games when to go under, especially in this role, such as the home dog, but home favorite. But this year, that has not necessarily been the case, and Minnesota is 19-12 against the spread. To the over on the road. So, all right, we know Minnesota's still a pretty bad cover overall, too. 13-18 ATS on the road. Although they are 7-5, ATS is a favorite. Clippers are just 14 and as a dog. I'm sorry, I keep flip-flopping them there. All right, that might be it for the NBA. Boy, good thing too. And Jermaine says a home and home series here, or home dominated series. Curvin went with the Clippers. Timmy's on the Wolves. Power Critter leaning the Clippers. Okay, I think that's probably it. That is it for the NBA, but good thing. That's a tough card for me there. Let's go to college basketball here right now. Don't forget to check out Tony T's video here on college basketball for Wednesday. Tony's got some great games previewed with his videos here tonight with several of these games here in college basketball today. So make sure you check out Tony's college video here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, and I'll preview some games here right now as well. So get ready for some big-time college basketball action. We've got a major tournament action here a little bit. Hello to, want to say hello to Ivan So in the chat. Hope I got that right. Or maybe it's Ivan So. Josh is here as well. Hello to Josh. Ivan So had the Wolves in there. Okay, let's go here. But I got college ball on the mind. And we're going to start it off here. Here we go. We're going to start off in the Big Ten with, here we go. We're going to start off in the ACC with SMU and Louisville here. You get things rolling. College basketball action here. Tournament action for Wednesday in the ACC second round in this one with Louisville favored here by 6.5. The total 163.5. SMU comes in here 19-12. They had been struggling, but did get a win last time out over Syracuse there yesterday to get to advance here. They were able to knock off the Qs in that first round game in the ACC action here in Charlotte. SMU was a 4.5-point favorite in that one and got the win there. For Louisville here, meanwhile, they get them come in with a bye here. Total 163. Louisville's won 2 straight games heading into the tournament over Syracuse and over Miami. When these two teams met so far this season, they split the series with the home team winning both games. SMU won at home 95-85 as a 4-point dog, actually, and Louisville won at home 88-74. They were favored by 9.5 in that one. SMU is just 5-8 against the spread on the road. Louisville a little bit better than that at home at 9-8 ATS, but Louisville's 5-12 to the under at home this season. And that's probably the direction I'd go in this one here, actually, with SMU and Louisville. But let's go to the chat pros and see what you have in this one. This one goes off at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, with SMU taking on Louisville. Here, ACC action from Charlotte. Go to the chat pros and see what they have to say in this one. SMU comes in 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games overall. They're also 1-4 straight up in their last 5 against the Cards. Cards have won 8 of their last 11, but just 6-12 against the spread in their last 18 games overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Let's go to the chat pros in this one, see what they've got. Right, Mr. Weskers likes SMU here. Cal Dog likes SMU. Timmy Two Shoes likes the over here. Fishton, SMU, he's already got it. Plus 7.5. How about that? I'm going to write that one down for Fishton. All right, and Timmy Two Shoes got an auto over for SMU. Oh, my goodness. Man, I'm going under here, actually. Well, give me the under here with SMU and Louisville. I don't want to go against Timmy, but that's my play is going to be on the under here in this one. Next up, let's go to Big 10 action here with USC and Washington. Washington is a 3.5. This is this line wrong? We got a typo here, right? Yeah. Washington is favoring this one by 5.5. Total 152.5. I knew that was wrong. There we go. All right, take a look at this one with SC here on the. This one's in Chicago. Second game of 4 here today. SC's cold, man. They fired Baker Mazzara. Say fired, he was a player, but got rid of him. They were already in a funk before that, but the USC is falling apart here down the stretch. They haven't won or covered in a couple weeks here right now. It's been disaster for USC late here right now, not even really coming close in some of these games, to be honest with you. For USC, they come in off of a loss to UCLA. They lost by 21 as an 8.5-point dog. They lost to Washington by 19 as a 5.5-point dog. They lost by 5 to Nebraska. They lost by 15 to Nebraska as a 5.5-point dog. Lost to UCLA by 19. They were getting 9.5. They failed to cover now in 6 straight games. Lost 7 straight. USC does kind of have a ownership of this series, believe it or not. 11 of the last 13 they've won, going 4-2 against the spread. Washington's won 6 of their last 12 coming in. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. 8 in a row between these two teams have gone over here. Washington's gone over in 4 of 5. Let's see what you guys have, though, here in this one with USC taking on Washington here. Big 10 action for Wednesday. All right, we got here Mr. Weskers is going with USC. He does like that, actually, with SC here. Cal Dog likes Washington. Mr. Weskers on USC money line here, actually. I'm taking the over in this one with USC and Washington. Give me the over here with these two. Okay, Timmy says, take the points. He says, take those points there with SC. Got to break this losing skid. Washington comes in off of a loss to Oregon. Before that, they did beat USC 91-72. That one was at Washington. Washington got the win and cover. They also got the win and cover at USC 84-76 back in December. So Washington's had their number this year, and USC playing pretty bad here right now. Okay, next up we've got, we're going to the Big 12 right now with Cincinnati favored here. Let me get the graphic going. Cincinnati taking on Central Florida here in Kansas City. Big 12 action here for Wednesday. The Bearcats are favored in this one by 3, maybe 2.5 total, 147.5 or so. Cincinnati comes in having won 3 of their last 4, including a win over Utah yesterday. They're 73-66 in that opening round game for the Bearcats. They were considerable favorites in that game. Eventually did not get the money, winning by 7 as a 12.5 point favorite. So it was eventually Utah getting the money on the road there. Still, modestly get 139 points, did stay under there in that one. So let's see what you have here with these two. Cincinnati is just 4-8 against the spread on the road this season, although they are 10-7 against the spread as a favorite. UCF, those 9-6 against the spread as an underdog here. And let's see what you've got here with Cincinnati taking on Central Florida tonight. For Cincinnati here, they've won 7 of their last 9. They've also won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, 7-1 against the spread against Central Florida over the last 4 years right now. Central Florida's 5-10 to the under as an underdog. Cincinnati's 6-10 to the under as a favorite here. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over, but Central Florida 3-6 straight up in ATS in their last 9 games overall. It does feel like, Cincinnati's playing a little bit better here than Central Florida. Two teams did meet twice this season. Back in February, Cincinnati got the win and cover at home, 92-72, but Central Florida did win at home. They did not cover, however, though, as Cincinnati got the money in that one. So let's see what you've got here with Cincinnati and Central Florida in this one. Here's maybe Timmy's on the under, but Power Critter likes Cincinnati, and so do I. I'm going to take Cincinnati here in this one. Give me the Bearcats on the in Kansas City. Mr. Westwood says people want UCF to be good, but he doesn't understand why. Timmy says this one could land right on 147. Okay, let's keep it going here right now. Tournament action. None of these are finals or anything. I'm just kind of picking out some of the better games and some of the teams that are on the bubble here a little bit. On the bubble heading into the playoff conference tournament, trying to get into the tournament, I'll say it. And Oklahoma is one of those. They're in the next 4 out group right now. Coming into this one, so that means they're not even in the first 4 out, but they could get something done here. They really would need to start winning here right now, and they do get a chance here taking on South Carolina. Oklahoma's a 7.5-point favorite, total 149.5 here with OU favored here in this one. These games are being played in Nashville. All right, and for Oklahoma here, they come in with a record of 17-14. They've won 4 straight right now. Wins over Texas, Missouri, LSU, and Auburn. They've covered them all, playing well. South Carolina does come in off of a win and cover against Ole Miss on the road. They were a 7.5-point dog. They actually won by 3. Before that, losses to Tennessee, Georgia, and Kentucky. They were big dogs in those games and really didn't come close in those games. So these two teams did meet once this season. It was in January, and the Cox won 85-76, a 2.5-point dog in that one. So let's see what you've got here with USC, South Carolina, taking on Oklahoma here on Wednesday. Go to the chat pros here in just a moment and see how you rate this one tonight. And we've got Cal Dogs on Oklahoma. And that might be it. That might be it from the chat pros right there. Okay. No problem, man. I got to make my pick here in this one between South Carolina and Oklahoma. This is the late game out at the Southeastern Conference tournament here in Nashville. All right, in this one for me, I'm going to take the over here with South Carolina and Oklahoma. I'm going to go over 149.5 in this one. South Carolina has been a bit of an under, but Oklahoma is 6-3 to the over as a favorite, and I'm going to take the over here in this one. Okay, let's see what else here. I think got a couple more here. Let's go next to Wake Forest and Clemson tournament action here in the ACC. Here with Wake Forest coming in 16-15, Clemson 22-9. It's been a little bit of a struggle here for Clemson of late after having such a great start to the season. They've actually fallen here to 22-9. Still pretty good when you think about it and what Clemson profiles that usually, but Wake Forest has lost 15 of the last 20 meetings against this team. Wake Forest also won 6 of their last 9. They've covered 8 of their last 10. Clemson 2-5 straight up, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 overall. So it does feel like Wake Forest is playing a little bit better than Clemson coming into this game, but Clemson here is able to win as a favorite, pretty good as a favorite, 21-5 straight up. Meanwhile, Wake Forest just 2-11 straight up as an underdog. Clemson 7-11 to the under as a home at home, and 11-15 to the under as a favorite. But Wake Forest is 9-4 to the over as an underdog coming in. Clemson's gone under in 13 of their last 20. Wake Forest has gone under in 6 of its last 9. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over here. So let's see what you have in this one when Wake Forest takes on Clemson. ACC action here to wrap up the games in Charlotte. All right, I'm going to take the under in this one with Wake Forest and Clemson. Give me the under 141. Chat pros here say, take Wake Forest, says Cal Dog. I think Timmy Two Shoes might be doing it. Mr. Weskers might take Wake Forest on the money line. Mr. Weskers doesn't think Clemson's too good anyways. And Fish Den. Roly-poly Fish Den. He likes the under. Fish heads. All right. Do you remember the Fish Head song? Okay, here we go. I think we got a couple more I want to say right now. There we go with, I think I got a late game here. Yeah, I might have went just out of time order. Sorry about that by half an hour. Well, no wonder I'm confused. Okay, Rutgers and Minnesota here. This was at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Rutgers comes in 13-18, Minnesota 15-16. Minnesota's the 11 seed. Rutgers is the 14 seed overall. So these two teams, they both need wins here for sure. Minnesota's been alternating wins and losses. Minnesota comes in off of a win over Penn State at home. They did get the money as a 4.5-point dog in that one. And also, Rutgers lost here to Michigan State, 91-87. They did beat Maryland, so they've won 2 of 3, covered 3 in a row, talking about Rutgers. Minnesota here right now off a win over Northwestern, although they did not cover at home in that one. They also lost by 30 to Indiana in a bad performance. But this is a key game here, really, in this one. And you got Minnesota here favored by 5 right now against Rutgers here. And let's see what the chat pros have to say between Rutgers and Minnesota. The Big Ten is a big time under when it comes to opening round games. It's going to be hard for me not to want to take the under, I think, here in this one. Rutgers and Minnesota right now. Minnesota's 4-8 to the under as a favorite this year, although Rutgers is 15-7 to the over as an underdog here. These two teams met this year one time in February. It was 80-61. Minnesota crushed them, and they covered in that game. It did go over in that one, but I don't know if this one will. I've got another total here, and I'm going under with Rutgers and Minnesota. I'm taking some totals here tonight. Unlike last night, I don't think I had many totals there. But I don't know. Maybe as we progress here into the later rounds, that's all I can think of as to why I might be doing that. Rutgers has gone over in 8 of their last 11. 7 of the last 8 meetings have gone over, but I'm going to take the under in this one. Minnesota's gone under in 6 of their last 8. Rutgers is 4-10 straight up in their last 14 games. They've gone 6-2 ATS in their last 8 overall, and Rutgers is 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 against Minnesota. Minnesota's lost 11 of their last 16 coming in, despite going 4-2 ATS in their last 6. I will take the under here. Oh man, can I get a side somewhere? A side of something? All right, I think I got one more here in the colleges with Oklahoma State taking on TCU. Late game in the Big 12 in Kansas City here. Oak State comes in 18-13. TCU 21-10. TCU is one of the hottest teams in the country right now. They're scorching. They're winning. They're covering pretty much every game at this point. They just covered against Cincy. 73-63 is a 2.5-point favorite. They won and covered against Texas Tech. 73-65 is a 6.5-point dog. They won and covered against K-State. 77-68 is a 3.5-point favorite. This team is like clockwork right now, winning and covering 5 straight. Oklahoma State's gone 3-7 ATS in their last 10, but 4-1. 3-7 straight up in their last 10, but 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. Oklahoma State's gone over in 5 straight overall. These two teams have gone over in 5 of their last 7, but TCU has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. TCU is 6-12 to the under as a favorite, and Oklahoma State, they trend over a little bit, but they trend under when they are a road dog. These two teams did meet already twice this season, and TCU won them both, and that's because TCU kind of owns the series here of late. They won at Oak State 95-92 as a 1.5-point favorite, and they won at home against TCU, beating them 68-65 as a 4.5-point favorite, but they did not get the money in that one. So let's see if you like this game here, and that'll be it for the colleges for we'll get to the semifinals. We'll get to the more finals here later in the week, but you got heavy volume games. I think we like that. Got games kind of going off all day long, starting at 11:30 Eastern, and pretty much every half hour or so. Got another game or two starting, it feels like. So it can be a fun day. See what you have here. Oklahoma State taking on TCU in this one. Chat pros. See what they got here. Okay, hey, I want to say, make it make sense. Hello, nice to see. Make it make sense in there. And he loves that creamy queso. I might make a baked potato here with some creamy queso and some bacon or something. Okay, let's see here. Timmy not liking TCU in this one. Cal Dog says TCU on the money line, however. And Mr. Wesker's TCU money line. Okay, Timmy might take a live bet. Mr. Wesker's Oklahoma State. And what does Fish didn't do? Nothing. Okay. Guys, I've got to take another total here. Just going with my feel like my strongest grouping of plays. I'm taking the under here with Oklahoma State and TCU. We had a few sides in there. I mean, what did I have? I had Cincinnati. That might be it actually. Okay. Thank you for your contributions. Also, Christopher Williams in there. Hello. He's got Oklahoma State there. Thank you, Christopher. We needed someone to make a pick on the side because I wouldn't do it. Okay, we got 2 games in the NHL, I guess, and then the show's over here. Oh no. Just 2 games in the NHL on Wednesday night. We're going to start off here with the Canadiens taking on the Senators here. All Canadian battle in this one. You got the Senators, pretty significant favorite, $1.55 total, 6.5 here. No, 6 flat. Let me make sure of that. Okay, it is actually here. I knew it. I knew it's 6.5. Typo. I think it might have been opened up here. No, I don't see any openers of 6. So let's just call it 6.5 here with the Canadiens taking on the Senators here in this one NHL action for Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Ottawa's won 3 in a row coming in. The Canadiens have won 2 in a row. Ottawa wins over Calgary, Seattle, and Vancouver as they won 3 in a row on a northwest swing. They've been hanging in there. They've been playing pretty darn well for sure, are the Ottawa Senators. Montreal coming off back-to-back wins over Toronto and LA, so they've been looking good as well. LA still 17-7 on the road, 20-14 as an underdog here for the Canadiens. Ottawa, meanwhile, 25-20 is a favorite. Both teams coming in playing well. For Ottawa here, they've won 4 of their last 5. Montreal's won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. Montreal's gone over in 5 of their last 6. 6 straight meetings between the two teams have gone over. Ottawa's gone over in 5 straight at home here against Montreal. So it does feel like it's going to go over. I knew 6 was a trick. It wasn't 6. Montreal's gone over in 4 of their last 5 on the road. I'm just going to go over here in this one with Ottawa and Montreal. Montreal is 23-11 to the over as an underdog this season. Ottawa does trend over here, 36-27 overall to the over. So give me the over here in this one with Montreal and Ottawa. All right, let's see here. Mr. Weskers might be playing that early game in basketball. Fishden likes Ottawa on the puck line and over. And Cal Dog likes Montreal. Let's go to the last matchup here on Wednesday. And, I'll have premiums for sure. So please check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. And going to roll here with the Capitals are on the road taking on the Flyers. Oops, not the Flames, the Flyers. Oops, I just deleted the whole graphic. Now I gotta look see who the goaltenders were again. Oh yes, Charlie Lindgren expected there at the Flames and Dan Vladar. There we go, and the Caps favorite here, $1.15. And the total, I believe, is 6. There we go. There's the graphic. Washington here comes in with a record of 32-28-7. Philadelphia 29-23-11. Washington does come in off of a win last time out over the Calgary Flames. These guys just played here back in February, 2 weeks ago or so, and it was maybe 2.5 weeks. 3-1, Washington got the win at home. They also played earlier this month. Philadelphia got the win at home 4-2. So let's see what you got here in this one with the Capitals taking on the Flames. Capitals are 25-18 as a favorite this year. They're still favored. Philadelphia 16-27 as a dog, but Philadelphia 14-11 at home, and Washington's 12-15 as an underdog. So, what are you going to do? Who are you going to take in this one? With the Capitals and the Flyers here. Our second game and our last game. Man, this was a fast show. We just finish in 1 hour here? I guess when there's not 15 NHL games. I'm going to go over in this one. I'm going over in both games here. Give me the over. I'm taking all total. Remember last night we had how many games were there? And I didn't take one total, I don't think, in the NHL 13-game card last night. Maybe we took one or two, but we'll go with two overs here in this one. I like the over with Washington and Philly. Philly's 26-17 to the over as an underdog, so I'm going to end up taking them here. And, like I said, Capitals obviously a pretty good favorite. But in this one, these two teams mostly trend under, actually. Philly's gone under in 8 of their last 10. Washington's gone under in 7 of their last 9. But at 6 goals, I'm going to take over. Even though all the trends, I do think, point to the under here in this one, except for Philadelphia as a dog, although 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. And Philly has gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. But I'm going over in this one. All right, that's going to do it for Night Moves, everybody. Wow. All right, let's see here. Fish Den's going with the Islanders in there somewhere. And I think that's it. Cal Dog is on the Capitals here. Let's see. Mr. Wesker wants Butler and Providence. If I don't do something for Mr. Wesker, he's going to get mad at me. So let me see if I can get it going here. Let me type the graphic in here real quick. We got to do it for Mr. Weskers. Come on. All right, there we go. I think I can get this one going. Let me type in a graphic here for the big Providence and Butler game at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific here. Mr. Wesker is so good to us, showing up every time, even when I'm, 20 minutes late every day. There we go. How's that? Providence on the road. This is in Madison Square Garden, of course. Providence favorite here. I think I got Providence by 1. I did that off my sheet, so if it's moved here, let me take a look at this. With Providence. Providence by 1, total 162 and a half here in this one, with the Friars taking on Bulldogs here on Wednesday. Providence comes in 14-17. Butler comes in with a 16-15 record. Providence has lost consecutive games here right now, too. Marquette and Georgetown. They did get the money against Georgetown as a 1.5 point dog, losing by 1 for Butler here. They come in off of a win over DePaul, 81-71 here in this one. Providence is 9-6 against the spread on the road, but Butler is 8-6 against the spread as an underdog. Providence is a little bit better of a cover this year, 18-13. ATS overall, Butler just barely above 500, and they are 9-10 ATS at home. Talking about the Butler Bulldogs. These two teams met twice this season, and it was Providence winning the last one, 97-87 at home as a 3.5 point favorite. Meanwhile, Butler won at home, 113-110. I know one thing about those two games. Both of them had a very, very high score. And here we are looking at a 162 here in this one. So let's see there what you have with Providence taking on Butler by request from Mr. Weskers here. All right, let's go to the chat pros and see what you guys have, and then I'll make a pick, and then the show will be over. And I really appreciate you guys here. Look, this good college card. It's I don't want to say it lacks the excitement. We just don't have any of the chat. We've been doing those championship games, and how about that? Did anybody watch the Southland game last night with Rio Grande Valley and McNeese? That triple overtime game, that was a thriller. Providence is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, but just 7-13 straight up in their last 20 games overall. Providence has covered 8 of the last 9 meetings against the Butler Bulldogs. Butler's gone over in 6 of the last 7 overall against Providence. So let's see how you have it here. But man, that is a good head-to-head rating. Kind of matches up also with my own ratings of the game. So maybe I can squeeze out a side here in this one. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. Providence taking on Butler, 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 Pacific time. I'm going to take the Providence Friars to win over Butler. Give me Providence in this one at -1. Okay, it's going to be Butler maybe for Mr. Weskers there. And to be Choo Shoes, he's talking, hey, there is Champions League. Thank you, Timmy, for mentioning the soccer there. The show is over here, by the way. Thank you very much for joining me here on Night Moves. But yeah, show's over anyway. And tomorrow we have soccer action in the Champions League with our other 4 field a round of 16 matches here tomorrow with Arsenal and Leverkusen, Manchester City and Real Madrid, Chelsea and PSG, and Sporting taking on Bodo Glimt. All right, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Hey, make sure you head on over to TonySpix.com and check me out over there. Get my 3-day all sports pass. Yeah, I might have just finished a game over 500 today, but hell, man, come on. We were very, very close on some of those. That's no excuse. We did have some great winners, though, in college baseball 2-0. We had some other nice winners as well. So check me out over there at TonySpix.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save. There we go. 15% off all those premium pick packages, including mine here on Wednesday. That's going to do it here for Night Moves. Be back tomorrow with more. Be a little bit more exciting. I would think all the excitement happened tonight. Man, I'm beat from all those incredible finishes here tonight. All right. Catch you again. Don't forget, join Tony tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific with the Tony's Picks Morning Show. Tony has his panel there, giving their best picks for the day. Then we've got Rod joins you with the Happy Hour, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. And hey, the drive-through is back. I was on there today, made a pick there with Rio Grande Valley, and they got that cover there in the triple overtime game. So the drive-through is back. Everybody check it out here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel every day here with the action. All right, thanks to everybody in the chat as well. We had a good show, and we got it done rather quickly there. Was I talking too fast, or were there just not enough hockey games? It's going to do it here for the show. We'll be back tomorrow. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.